So for today's mini lesson, what we want to do is focus in on the element of characterization. We spend a good first portion of the year really looking at how to find details in what we read. For the second half of the year, we want to start thinking about the characters that we encounter in our books, and we also want to start thinking about how those characters are created and described. So tonight's reader's response letter is about you going back into your book that you've either just started or have gotten into probably about a third of the way, and discuss with me in your letter all the different types of feelings, motivations, traits, and actions. And so this lesson is really going to help you focus in on what kind of questions to ask yourself. So the first part of the letter is, I want you to focus in on the feelings. So when you look at a character, I want you to ask yourself, what emotions do they show? So in other words, when I look at the character, I'm asking myself, okay, what kind of emotions do they have? Are they happy, sad, angry? Do they seem to have some type of a disgruntled relationship? What is it that's going on with this particular character? So that's the first step. The second part I want you to ask yourself is really to look at, how do you know? So if you say to me, well, this character is a pretty angry character, or this character is pretty happy, or this character has some type of a grudge, how do you know? Where do you find that evidence? As much as we're talking about the character, we also don't want to forget that idea of providing the evidence. So use quotes or examples. Be specific. Show me where in the book you see all of this. So that's important first and foremost. So as we move away from the feelings, the next step we want to look at really is what motivates our character. What makes them do what they want to do? So one of the first questions you want to ask yourself for motivation is, well, why are they doing this? If they're on some particular hunt, why are they hunting for something? If it's a mystery novel, what are they trying to find? What is making them do their actions? Why do they do the things that they do? Secondly, I want you to ask yourself again, how do you know? It's not enough for us to tell the reader that our character is motivated to find this missing key. I want to know what makes you decide that they're on this hunt. Where is the evidence in the book? So again, you want to make sure that you show us how you know. So step 1, finding feelings and describing them, and step 2 is our motivation and how do we know. Step 3 is going back and looking at the particular traits of the character. So I want you to start focusing on the character, him or herself. If you were to look at them physically, if you had to describe them, what would they look like? What clues are there in the book to describe physically how this character looks? Moreover, I want you to look at the character's personality, how they treat other people. You usually can describe someone's personality as sunny. You can usually say to some people that, this particular person is cranky a lot. Look at the character's physical traits, look at the character's personality traits, and see if you can show us really what makes the character who they are. The last step in really looking at a character is looking at the character's particular actions. Now, you're thinking to yourself, I've got the motivations, I've got the feelings, I've got the traits, but now I want you to ask yourself, how do the actions impact others? What kind of an impact do their actions have? For instance, do the things that this character does, think about the character, does it solve any problems? Their particular actions. Maybe they do something that leads to a solution. Does it cause any problems? They do something and it angers another character. And then lastly, ask yourself, does it influence others? Do other people take notice of this particular character and decide, yes, that's something that I definitely need to do? So again, you're looking at how they influence, you're looking to see if their behaviors and actions are causing any problems, and then lastly, you're asking yourself, do they solve any problems? Once you really begin to put all of these together, this is what characterization is about. And this is how we would look at a character to describe what it is they're doing, what drives them, and then ultimately thinking to ourselves, how does this impact others and myself? So when you write your letter tonight, tell me the title of your book, and tell me about your character's feelings, motivations, traits, and actions.